Martin, what do you think?
Well, Jeff, it's different. That's the thing we have to say about this. I'll explain the screen in just a second, but look how neat it is. It's not as big as the iPad or the iPad complementary tablets. It is just the more size, actually like an e-reader that you might be familiar with. But here's the navigation. It's pretty similar stuff. A lot of apps on a screen, of course. You navigate through and across to your various games or media or the favourites you want to do. It has a browser. What we're demonstrating here is it does have full HD connectivity. There's a little mini HDMI socket here at the bottom of the device, and we're able to connect that through to our big HD television behind us, so you can mirror all that you're doing here. If you were to select videos, for instance, here, you can actually run this on your device. So as a businessman taking a presentation, perhaps, to more than just a PowerPoint, maybe it's video, maybe it's something else, you can actually use this device, hook it up to the local projector, and away you go. Interesting thing, the navigation uses the rim of the device here. I can actually pull down some of the settings by stroking the top, and then if we push away, I can again push away something that's working and get back to my navigation point of other applications and so on here. So where were we in terms of just using some of the devices? I could show you some of the videos. It has got double cameras, just like the other devices now, and it's got a very good browser, including, and this is where it stands out, of course, full flash capability. So animations and videos included in websites like the Sky News website, of course, do run just as well as they do, whereas there are a problem is that on certain Apple problems. And, of course, there's a double camera on it as well, so I can say back to you, Jeff, through this device. Jeff?
Martin, very cleverly done. Well, joining me now at the Gherkin is Cliff Jones, the editor of the online publication Trusted Reviews, part of IPC Media. Cliff, we saw all that wizardry there. That notwithstanding, can Playbook compete with the iPad, given the latter's stellar reputation?
Yes, well, I think we talked about Research in Motion issuing a profits warning. Their market share has fallen in the US, down from 31% down to 27%, but it's still 27% of a growing market, of a smartphone market. It's 20% in the UK. That's a lot of users, and it's those users that are being targeted at the moment. I think the Playbook presents an opportunity, I think, for its users. Blackberry is known as kind of serious productivity devices, although they are kind of making headway into the youth sector. But this is a device that really frees Blackberry up to do multitasking and true multitasking, like Martin was showing. That the app there, as he swipes through off the screen, as he mentioned, is actually running in the background, and it stays running, which the iPad doesn't do. How
important in this market is cost? Because the one thing Martin didn't mention was the relative prices. How do they measure up?
This the Playbook is $357, which is cheaper than the iPad. The Samsung Galaxy Tab came out
cheaper enough to give it an advantage.
I think so. I think for its users, I think that Apple do have a huge market share of the tablet market, but it's growing all the time. We have seen, talk about the economy, we have seen that people are buying fewer PCs. PC sales are down, but people are buying tablets, and also tablets are. We have to remember mobile devices. They're connected. They have. A lot of them do have SIM cards in, and people are spending perhaps less on phones because they realize that they use their iPhone more as a communication and a browsing device than actually making calls.
As you said, Apple has a huge market share. Is it the case that Apple simply has the best brains in the market, or is there something else inside that company that gives it an advantage?
Well, Apple have their fans. They do make devices people frequently call beautiful and wax lyrical about, and tend to ignore the things that they can't do. It can't use Flash, and the Playbook can use Flash, and it's kind of technology used in a lot of websites and graphics. Just some sites you just can't read on an iPad. And I think that kind of the critics of the iPad will be looking at the next biggest thing, and that could be the Blackberry.
And where are the British brains in this market? Why don't we produce something like this?
Well, the Far East and the US are dominating the market, and of course Canada with Research in Motion. We've seen things coming out. The ePad Transformer, which is a tablet that fits into a dock that has a keyboard in. We've got the Pad Phone, which is a tablet that fits into the phone that fits into a tablet, and that's kind of how that rolls. We've got the Samsung Galaxy Tab. There's a lot of devices out there, and there's a lot of different formats as well. You've got the 7-inch tablets, you've got 10-inch tablets, and you also have phones with just massive screens, like the HTC Desire HD.
And briefly, Cliff, we're running out of time. Marks out of 10 for Playbook? Vis-a-vis iPad?
On Trusted Reviews, we gave it a 6, but we said come back in 2 months when there are more apps. It only launched with 1,000 apps. The iPad launched with a lot more. It needs the software.
All right, so Cliff Jones, nice to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.